But I'm going to call to order the meeting of the regular meeting of Nashoba Regional School Committee on March 25th at 6:31 p.m. The first item here is to pledge allegiance to the flag. So if you would like to join me in that, feel free to stand. Just mute so it's not echoey. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the first item is always public comment, but I received no messages from anyone who wanted to participate in public comment. So we're going to keep cruising right along and head over to the consent agenda vote. And I wonder, Amy, do you have access to the motions? Because I do, if you need me to do it.
I can handle this one, but I might need to lean on you for future motions.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I move to approve the consent agenda of March 25th, 2026 as presented.
I'll second that. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? All right, I'm not seeing any hands. We're going to take the roll call vote. So Amy Cohen?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Robin?
Yes.
Shondor?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Jillian?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So everyone, moving right along, we're going to head toward our student representative report. And I see that Maria and Ryan are here. Hi, guys. What can you tell us?
Hi. So today we met with, school committee met with Stuco, and Stuco gave them a recommendation for the new bathroom pass policy, and also bathroom related. Student Advisory Council gave input on a bathroom design for the new school. Last Thursday, I think, was our meeting. Yeah. Ryan, you can go.
Hello. Sorry, I'm sitting in the parking lot at Nashoba. Just finished practice. But I'll also talk about when sort of our meeting earlier today, when Leah, Amy, and Superintendent Downing came down to talk to the student council. We talked about some kind of an idea for kind of to start next year, because we thought a lot of the student body isn't really sure how a lot of policy is made, and kind of how the school committee kind of relates to what to the students, and as well as kind of the administrative handbook work. So we wanted to kind of develop some way where either the student leaders or the school committee can somehow educate the students on sort of how this kind of whole thing operates a little more, so they can be kind of more in tune and give more direct input and suggestions and stuff like that. And then on a different note, we have the spring sports starting up with games coming later this week and early next week for each team. So I think that closes it. We'll take any questions, obviously, if you have anything.
Leah, you're muted.
Thank you. So thanks, Maria and Ryan, for that. Are there any questions from the school committee for the student reps?
I do.
Yeah, Jackie.
So, Chairperson Verita, will we be hearing more about the thoughts that the students shared at a later time?
Yeah, so we probably were, we're torn between sharing and the subcommittee share out, but maybe, Amy, it's best for you to provide your feedback about our meeting with Stuco today as the subcommittee, or as the communication subcommittee chairperson.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just to put it all in context, this task of the communication subcommittee was charged with coming up with the way to establish kind of long-term two-way communication between the school committee and the student council. And so this was we met with them once already this year, and we kind of talked about how they could we could start this effort by having them look at the student handbook and choose an area that felt like it needed a change or an improvement and work on it. And then when we met the second time, they could bring what came out of their work to us. And it was driven by the fact that the school committee approves student handbooks. If you look at our planning calendar in May, we will take a vote to approve a student handbook. So today, when we met with the student council, they had kind of spent the last 2 months tossing around some ideas and came up with feedback from students that the current bathroom policy was an area that they'd like to see changed. And they, on top of identifying a problem, they suggested a solution, which they're going to feed back to the school council, so it gets incorporated in the work they're doing around the student handbooks, because that is really the work of the school council, and we're trying to help build some more feedback mechanisms into the process. Does that help explain kind of what Maria was reporting about? So they came up with like a new bathroom policy that's going to go back to the school council through Principal Boynton and make its way into the handbook that we're going to see in May and take a vote on. True, Leah?
Yeah, and I think even to give greater context, just so that any new members on the school committee understand that us meeting with the student council is rooted in law. It's also rooted in our policy, which was spurred on by law. But more than that, about 7 years ago, students expressed some pretty vehement dissatisfaction with their inability to communicate with the policymakers that govern the district. And so, right, this was a long time ago under a very different leadership structure, but we wanted to honor that request. And for several years, we've been trying to build up this capacity to meet with the student council. What we tried to talk to them today was kind of how the circles of power exist in any school district and where the intersections are, and how the students and the school committee can meet at some of those intersections to work together to make life better for students at Nashoba public schools. And so Ryan and Maria, they lead this effort. So only twice a year we try to push down to them, whereas Maria and Ryan come up to us most of the time. And so they thought that it was a good idea to continue this collaboration. They are going to invite us, well, whoever the chairperson is and the chair of the communications subcommittee in the fall will continue this conversation where they go to the student council. We communicate. What we decided today is that at our August workshop, the school committee will develop a charge for them, things that we think they could get active with over the next year. And then at the beginning of the year, we'll share it with them. At the mid-year, we'll check in with them. And I mean, they thought that it was useful and that we should keep going with this to try to continue to encourage them to be stronger and stronger policymakers themselves. And what they did and presented today is evidence that that seed is kind of sprouting and that's trying to move in that direction.
We planted the seed, and actually, on top of getting a bunch of students nodding like, yes, we want to continue this practice, there was even feedback that they wished that they would be able to weigh in on more than one topic at a time. So I was really encouraged and excited, and I hope that this just continues to be an avenue for getting more student feedback on some of the policy decisions that we're making and other votes that the school committee takes that have a direct effect on student experience. And
I think we left it by saying and trying to encourage them to imagine things beyond what we say we need from them or would like to hear from them, and to, make the conversation a two-way conversation where we bring things to them, but that they should also imagine bringing things to the school committee that are policy related. And, we're excited about it. It was a relatively short, efficient, but a really effective meeting.
Yeah.
So I really want to thank Ryan and Maria for continuing to be kind of the glue that keeps this student leadership organization that's really becoming super dynamic and multifaceted. You guys really keep it together, and you're that glue. So
Thank you.
yeah, you.
Yes. Yeah. It wouldn't have grown as much this year without their participation and leadership. So I really appreciate that. I also want to extend thanks to Superintendent Downing and Principal Boynton and the Student Council advisor.
Mr. Kaiser, yep.
Mr. Kaiser, because it really takes every coordination among lots of different levels of the district and to make this effective. And it's taken a bunch of years, but we're getting there, and it's just going to get better. So,
any other questions for the student reps? All right, I'm not seeing any, so I will thank Ava and Ryan. I know you guys have busy nights. Ryan, you're probably looking to leave lacrosse practice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Hopefully you get home soon.
Bye.
Long days for them. Kirk, I hope you don't mind me asking this. I wonder if it would be okay with everyone. Do I see Bridget? Yes. Would it be okay if we moved the conversation, the unfinished business of the school committee website reveal, to right now, Kirk? Because I know Amy has to start actually driving her car in just a little bit. And we wonder if we could do that right now before she has to get on the move.
Madam Chair, may I also recommend, and it's your decision, of course, is that we also do the Puerto Rico field trip after Ms. Hannigan to give our guests an opportunity to continue their evenings as well.
Yes, so maybe we could have back-to-back Ms. Hannigan, which is a special treat. So, Bridget, I hope you don't mind us moving that order. And if there's no objection from the school committee, we'll do that. All right. All right, so let's start with the website reveal. And Amy, I'll let you cue it up, and then you can allow, Bridget can obviously jump in and explain all the awesomeness that's happening.
Yes. I do want to start by thanking Ms. Hannigan for all the work that she has put into helping get the school committee website updated and in line with the vision of the communication subcommittee, which was really based on a survey that we did a year ago, surveying our community members about what information they wanted to see and prioritizing it around feedback we got from community members. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen, and Bridget and I kind of agreed that I would present it. And then, if there's questions about, if there's any questions, I can direct them to Bridget. And Bridget, please feel free, if I've missed anything, to jump in.
I trust you.
Okay, let me see if I can. Share my screen here. Okay. So, are you guys seeing this?
Yes.
Okay. This is, so there was the first draft of this website was presented in January, I believe. And we took some of the feedback from that meeting, presented it to Bridget. She made the changes, brought it back to the communication subcommittee, and we had a few more tweaks. And this is the final version that we're bringing to the school committee for approval. so that it can be published and we can put this into play. So the first thing to notice is that we, let me collapse some of these things, sorry. One of the points that was brought up by the school committee was that we needed to elevate the DEIB statement. So you can see that that is now up at the top of the screen. We also, the initial version showed, am I on the right version of the website, Bridget?
I don't, Amy, if you can go to the, let me, this is I think this is the first draft version. It's not showing some of the updates.
I'm so sorry. I think I clicked on a March 10th one. That's the correct one, right?
Yes. So if you go to, I'm on the district website right now, and that's the most updated version. I can send
Oh, okay. Yeah. Should I stop sharing and allow Bridget to share? Why don't we do that?
All right.
Sorry.
Okay. Let me pull it up.
And in the meantime, I will try to figure out what's going on my screen.
All right, hold on one second, just so I have up the right tab.
I apologize for this, guys. I had it all loaded and.
That's all right. Take your time. I'm excited for this.
All right. I found the right link.
Okay, go ahead.
I think. Hold on.
I'm impressed that you have your computer in your car.
I'll take that compliment right now because I'm feeling a little underprepared. All right, I have the right link up. Let me share this again. And we will take 2. Okay, can you guys see this?
Just one second. Yep.
Yes.
All right. So there's that DEIB statement that was elevated. And you can see, you can click on it, you can read the whole statement. Another change we made was that the school committee members, instead of listing them all here and creating a situation where the list needs to be updated as membership changes, there's a hyperlink that brings you to the page that already exists with school committee members on here, with the additional benefit of having the email that goes to all members listed here. I believe that captures, we also asked Bridget to link the planning calendar up top. So it was more obvious that this is our planning tool. And if people wanted to see in a concise place what the school committee is, considering next and throughout the year, they could just click here and this is the planning calendar. The next thing is that Bridget was able to figure out a way for us to have a widget that allows people to ask a question. So you would open up this bar that says have a question and you would click on ask the school committee form. That opens up a form that this communication subcommittee created. It's very simple, but we wanted to present this to the school committee and make sure that there wasn't any feedback. So it asks for an email, your name, the town you reside in, the school. Is your question related to one of the district schools? It lists all the schools and there's an opportunity for an other answer. And then what is your question? When you submit it, your email address will be recorded and it will go to a responses page. And this is another point that we needed to bring up with the school committee, that our recommendation of the communication subcommittee is that this form should be shared with NRSC at NRSD so that when a question is submitted, individual members receive a copy of the question or a notification that a question has been submitted. But our recommendation would also be that in that case, we authorize the chair to respond on our behalf to questions that are submitted through this widget. Two other things to note about this form is that in order to get a notification, you need to go into the settings, and I can follow up with an email to the committee on how this works, or I can forward Bridget's email on how to do this to you. And the second thing is that, and Shandor pointed this out, forms are owned by individuals. And I was the owner of this form, but I've transferred ownership to Shandor because my term is ending shortly, and I want to make sure that the form doesn't die with me. So that's just something to make sure whoever is the owner of is keeping track of as this form passes from one owner to another. Back to our website. I think we have it linking to the policy subcommittee's website so that people can see the upcoming agendas there. And we also linked the policy manual. I don't think there were any other changes in this area. And then we changed some of the headings for public hearings so it was more clear if you were looking for budget or school choice related information. And I think that I've captured all the changes, but Bridget, could you please weigh in?
Yep, that captures all of the forward-facing website changes that we made. The only additional thing I would add, I know some of the feedback was how can we make things more searchable on the website when it comes to agenda items. We discussed once it's added into the common, the agenda items that are put into the common as a heads up about next meeting will go into the website as a news piece each week, which happens with many of the news stories in the common. This means that if you were to look something up on the website, it will bring you directly to that news story, which will have a link to the meeting and the agenda items in it.
That's great. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that you did was make sure that this video will be showing the most recent school committee meeting. And we really approached this task with trying to make this as easy as to maintain as possible for Bridget and whoever else ends up being in that role. So with that, I'll ask my communication subcommittee members if I've forgotten anything. I can't see everybody's face right here. Go ahead, Shandor.
I just wanted to publicly thank Bridget for all the work she's put in on this website. I think it's a huge improvement and really appreciate all of the work that went into it.
I'm always happy to help, and I can't thank the subcommittee enough for the work you guys put in before I had anything to do with this. The survey and the analysis of the data that each of you did made this a very easy process.
But are there any other questions from the school committee on this?
Amy, I have one for you.
Yeah.
Will you scroll down so that I can see the lower row?
The lowest
Keep
row?
going.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. So I really love how this is all laid out. It's great. I wonder where the orientation materials are. Or like the school committee manual.
You're right. Those were two things that came up the last time, and I think they fell off the list. Bridget, would those be in here?
they're not on there. I mean, you could find them in school committee archives, but we could easily add those two buttons underneath additional information, just so it's a little bit more forward facing for people.
Yeah.
I think so. I kind of go back and forth as to whether or not those sort of internal documents want to be forward facing, but I think it's useful to do it because sometimes we want the community to have access to our training materials so that they know, or that they could know if they want to know, what the purview is, etc. And so I think that the only thing that I can think of is the orientation material and the school committee manual that we might want to have here.
We could even have a thing that says member documents or something.
Yeah, I'm not partial to how you get it in there. If whatever's easier and balanced, it's I think up to you. I also love that the superintendent's evaluation materials are there. That's huge because that's a very big part of our responsibility, and to have it all there is very useful. I wonder if anybody else has any comments or questions. All right, I'm not seeing any. Thank you to the communication subcommittee and to Bridget and to Kirk and everybody on, you guys have been enormously supportive of making this website more accessible on all fronts. And we appreciate you including the school committee's page in that effort. So thanks. Thanks, Amy, very much for leading the charge.
You're very welcome. And I'm going to be switching to my other device at this point. So.
Got it. All right. So I think we said that there was no objection to also talking about a little piece of new business, and that is the Nashoba Regional High School Puerto Rico field trip. And Kirk, I'm going to ask you to maybe cue it up and help us understand what's going on here.
I would be happy to do that, but I think what I'm going to do is have Dr. Boynton cue up our team to talk to you about an exciting opportunity we have coming forward. So Dr. Boynton, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Downing. Thank you so much, Chair Viverito and School Committee. Very happy to join you today and introduce one of our fantastic world language teachers, Jimena Puñales Santiago, who has put together a fairly exciting trip to Puerto Rico for next April. I believe you have the materials with you. We dipped our toe back in the water a couple of years ago with first traveling to Canada, to Montreal and Quebec, and then we reinstated some of our exchanges to France and to Germany with some homestays. And now we'd like to expand further with a language and culture exploration. Jimena.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. I'm excited to share my proposal for a field trip to Puerto Rico. I hope you had a chance to look at my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Hi, Scott, would you like to start?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting the questions to come up so quickly. So on this trip to Puerto Rico, I noticed one of the objectives is the opportunity to practice the language in question. Will the tour guides and all that stuff be in Spanish?
They are bilingual, and yes, that's the idea, right? And also, we're gonna have opportunities to use the language at restaurants, with locals, and places like that.
Thank you.
I am looking at the approval form. The presentation was lovely. Thank you for that. I'm very entertained by that. And it was very useful. We always like to look at the cost. Is it true that it's going to be about $3,000 per student?
Yes, I've been doing some research for like a year, and I reached out to different companies and they were about the same prices. What I like about this company is that well, they're well known. And also like the chaperone ratio is actually, so every 5 students we get a chaperone, which is, security is my first priority for students. So yeah, but yes, I agree.
It seems a little bit higher than normal.
I don't know if it's not abnormal because like I say, I checked with different companies and they were all about the same price, but yeah.
Okay. It's 5 days and 4 nights, or is it 6 days and 5 nights?
6 days and 5 nights.
Okay.
If I may, it is a bit more than our exchanges because the exchanges include homestays where this is all hotel. So they're staying in a hotel, and we're not pursuing hostels. We're going in this particular trip for hotels that would provide some greater amenities for our student travelers as well.
Understood.
But the exchanges are much lower because they do include homestays where there's no cost for lodging.
And also food, right? They also include the meals. Well, we will have to pay for the meals. So, I mean, they're included in the package, but with the exception of lunch.
Right. Jackie.
Sorry, I had to find that unmute button. I think the cost initially, I had some sticker shock at first, but I was reflecting back on the trip to Montreal, which was for much shorter of a period of time, and it was close to 1,000. So I think given the number of nights, I'm wondering about 2 things. So one, I know that in order to start fundraising, like if fundraising was an option, that prior approval from the school committee is required. Are we hoping to do some level of fundraising to offset the cost?
So the company, they offer like different workshops for parents so they can help them with ideas. And I will be presenting this to the parents in our meeting. And yes, I will be more than happy to help them with like the fundraising. Yes.
I would also add that we have mechanisms for any families who are in financial need to offset some of the cost. So we have that within our student activities. We've done that with our German exchange, our French exchange as well. So we have that mechanism in place to ensure that no one is precluded from attending the trip due to financial difficulty.
I just had one more question, if that's okay.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So I know in previous trips, if the ideal student isn't able to fill up all those spots, that it's opened up to other students. Is that the same process, do you think, for this field trip as well?
Yes. That being said, I'm only going to be opening for 20 students. This is my first time, and I feel comfortable with 20 students.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of like a low number. So I feel that I'm going to have more interest. So yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, that is the case.
I don't know if this is an awkward question, but I'm going to ask it. Does the cost of these trips typically absorb the cost of the chaperones?
Sorry. Yes, it does. Yes.
Right. Because I mean, if teachers are going to volunteer to travel on April vacation, we're not asking them to pay for their trip, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's actually, we're going to be watching the students, right? Like, so yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like a real vacation.
No.
Yeah. No, it's
no.
not.
I mean, I'm sure it will be enjoyable for the educators, but it is definitely a responsibility. So I just want, I think that that's useful to know that the number is not just for one child or one 18-year-old, 17-year-old traveling. It's to work in the cost of all the chaperones. And I imagine that it won't just be you taking them, right? I mean, how many chaperones are we hoping for?
Yeah. So like I say, it's like a 5-to-1 ratio. So every 5 students, we have 1 adult.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Well, I want to thank you for putting this together. It is an enormous undertaking that you do not need to do. And our kids will benefit from it. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for your time.
So for the school committee's benefit here, this will be in the consent agenda at our next meeting. And so approval always takes, we usually like to take a couple of weeks to think on it. But if there are no other questions, then we'll just say thank you again and move on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
I love that we're getting back to all of the traveling opportunities that were we had an enormous program prior to COVID. There were so many great trips and like super thoughtful curricular connected trips that the kids were taking. And that just all went poof overnight. So to Kate also, I appreciate her bringing this back. And Laura, I'm sure that you're involved as well. So we appreciate it. All right, everybody, we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program here. And we're going to ask Kirk to chime in with his superintendent's report.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I have before you a few items tonight. They'll be rather quick. I'm sure you all bristled just briefly when you saw a calendar at the top of the announcements. It's a very simple thing. We just did a misaccounting. We had one extra day on the calendar that you voted before. So when we went back and recounted it, we had miscounted the professional development day. So anyway, it's the exact same calendar in terms of all the structure, one less day in the year. So we'll include it in the consent agenda for next week, but it is in the meeting materials tonight. So no change in structure. We just put the right number of days on. So the last day of school is one day earlier than what you were voting previously. The next piece is related to school choice. As you know, at the next meeting, I'll be giving my annual school choice presentation and examining our local policies, looking at policy JCA. They're in bullet 4 of JCA. Nashoba families are given an opportunity for school choice seats before they're offered out of district. So I sent out sort of a survey form last Friday to just solicit if there was any interest in our district. To help me prepare for the presentation that's coming up on the 8th. I just checked the form moments ago, and we do not have any to date. So that just tells me I can continue to proceed forward with that work. And next, I wanted to bring up Assistant Superintendent Laura Friend, because she is going to brief you on application for private school approval for the Masters Academy International. And she is going to outline for your responsibilities as a school committee when a new private school comes into our jurisdiction. So, Assistant Superintendent Friend, if you'll take it away.
Thank you, Superintendent Downing, and thank you to our chair, and thank you to the school committee for allowing me an opportunity to provide some context before a presentation that will be provided to you at the next meeting on April 8th. So this is to provide context ahead of that meeting. To that end, the school committee will receive a presentation, as Superintendent Downing had alluded, from Masters Academy International, which is a private boarding and day school seeking approval to operate within Nashoba Regional School District's geographic boundaries. Masters Academy is scheduled to open in September of 2026 on the former Bose Corporation campus at 688 Great Road in Stowe. Masters Academy bills itself as New England's first academy, combining elite sports training with rigorous academics, and intends to serve middle school, upper school, and postgraduate students. Under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 76, Section 1, private schools educating students of compulsory age are required to obtain approval from the local school committee. Nashoba Regional School District School Committee does have a policy, LBC, which establishes the district's process for reviewing such requests. On the 8th, representatives from Masters Academy will present an overview of the school and its program. Their full application is prepared in accordance with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education's advisory on approval of Massachusetts public schools, This application will be included in full in the April 8th meeting materials for the school committee's review in advance of the presentation that evening. Following the presentation, the superintendent will offer a recommendation to the school committee, after which the school committee will consider the recommendation and the application and take action at the next school committee meeting, which I believe is on April 29th. There's no action required tonight. This is just advance notice that the application and presentation are forthcoming at the April 8th meeting.
All right. Thank you, Laura, and thank you, Kirk, for that report.
You bet.
Very interesting. This was actually news to me. I'm not sure if this is news to all of you, that the local school committee has to provide approval. I look forward to that presentation. I think it will be very instructive, and we welcome the conversation. So I wonder if there are any questions on the superintendent's report, any element of it.
Leah, I had a question.
Oh, go ahead, Amy, and then we'll go to Jillian and then Jackie.
I can wait until after Jillian. I just couldn't raise my hand.
No, go ahead. You're unmuted. Go for it.
Okay, thank you. The question is about school choice and the policy that is behind the superintendent's survey to ask district families if they have any interest in showing preference for a school that's not in their hometown. Has that policy existed prior to this year? And if so, why are we gauging interest in it now? Like what sparked this initiative to gauge interest in the ability to move between schools in the district?
Yeah, good question. Go ahead, Kirk.
I think it's a simple answer, just a thorough review. So in finding that policy, noticing we haven't done that before, we need to. So it's just giving folks notice.
Got it. And will you be, if I often miss emails in my inbox, will there be another opportunity, like a reminder about this survey, or?
Was this in the comment on Friday, Kirk?
No, we sent it out as a special individual email, and our responsibility is to offer diligence. It's not to continue to pursue. That email was communicated to everybody in the family, so I feel like at this point we've done our due diligence there.
Okay.
Can you remind me, Kirk, what the deadline is for that intra-district school choice?
I said it as March 31st, but really, if we received any after that, prior to the school choice selections, I would consider that. I needed it by the 31st so I can prepare for you all for the April 8th presentation.
Understood. All right, let's go over to Jillian.
I just had a quick question. I know that we have like some special education students who may attend a school that is not their in-town school because there's particular programming at, one of the other schools. Are those kids counted within, sort of in-district school choice, or is that sort of separately accounted?
Yeah, that's just separately accounted. And Ms. Washuda, school choice is a mechanism in the law for out-of-district students to come in, if you recall. So there's no benefit in allowing in-district transfer of schools. It's more of a courtesy and prioritizing our local families if they want that choice. So when a student in one of our towns goes to another school, it's because that was a collaborative decision made with the family and the team of that school.
Thank you.
Great. Jackie.
So I actually just wanted to say thank you for doing that as a process, knowing that there has been situations in the past couple of years where, while they're outliers for sure, having some formal process is really fantastic. And so I just want to thank the district and Superintendent Downey for doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anything else on the superintendent's report? Not seeing any golden hands, so we're going to keep moving along here to the final item here, and it's solar contract negotiations. Kirk, would you like to explain the current status of this?
Yeah, so as I've been sharing with the school committee in previous meetings, in the school building committee March meeting, we had our solar consultant appear and go through thoroughly sort of the process for engaging with a solar contract with Select Energy. So I'm hopeful that our committee was able to review that meeting to receive those details, and we're not presenting on them this evening. But the long story short is, for us to proceed, we need to enter into contract negotiations with Select Energy. That does not bind us to anything. It just authorizes me to begin those discussions. And when I say me, you're saying my team. So Mr. Mulcairn, as you know, out of the Finance and Operations Office, handles our district contracts and works with our legal team in bringing those contracts forward. So tonight, what we're asking is to take the recommendation of the school building committee to authorize the superintendent to enter into contract negotiations for a purchase agreement with Select Energy.
All right. So, whereas I think that I had led the committee to believe that there would be a contract in front of us today, that is not the case. That contract needs to be negotiated and reviewed by our attorneys. And so, I wonder if you guys have any questions before we make any kind of motion here.
Madam Chair, if I may add to that.
Yeah.
And this is a good thing. This means we're being thorough. So we've been having various meetings with our consultant throughout since October, I believe, and so we're at this point now of being able to get down to the nitty gritty of that. The school building committee will be presented with a proposed contract. Those meetings always happen the week before school committee meeting, so you will have plenty of time to review the terms of that contract before it comes to this committee based on the recommendation of the school building committee. So tonight's vote doesn't bind us into anything. It just means we can get down and dirty with the details and engage with them and our lawyer to bring that forward to you.
Kirk, would you happen to have a timeline on this?
My audio's on. One moment, please.
Yep.
I'm just scrolling through here. The next school building committee is on April 16th. And so we have a target date of having the contract agreement put together by April 9th, so we can send it out to the school building committee and this committee as well. So we'll be looking for this committee to take action on our remote meeting, which is scheduled for April 29th.
Would you consider this unfinished business?
Yes.
And on the 29th, you would be presenting the contract to us, and then you would like the vote on the May 13th?
At that point, I think we're looking for a vote on that night, which is why we've been encouraging our committee to engage with the school building committee meetings, and why we called a dual meeting last week for that case.
And so you're saying that the April 16th school building committee meeting it's another one that the school committee should even attend, possibly, to ask questions on the draft contract?
Yeah, I think we would be wise to post both agendas in the event that we have a quorum of school committee members that attend that meeting.
Okay, so I'm sure Alita can handle that for us, but I wonder if the committee has any questions or concerns or anything like that. All right. So I will take it upon myself to make the motion, but just hang hang on one second. And I will say, Kirk, that I'm tweaking the motion that Alita gave to me just a tad. I'm going to move to authorize the superintendent to enter into negotiations with Select Energy Development for solar power for the Nashoba Regional High School, with such contract to be brought back to the school committee for approval before any execution. Do I have a second?
Second.
Was that Amy?
I can second it.
Okay, we'll give it to Amy. Any discussion on the motion? All right, seeing none, we'll take the vote. Amy?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Shondor?
Yes.
Jillian?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Sharon? Did I hear Sharon? Yes. John?
Yes.
And Lindsay?
Yes.
I think I got everybody. So that's unanimous. Good luck, Kirk, with that endeavor. I know it will be a pretty big undertaking.
I'm looking forward to following the lead of Assistant Superintendent Mulcairn on this one.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ross. All right, everybody. So we're moving right along here to subcommittee report outs, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder, Kirk, is there anything else for the school building committee?
Yeah, just a review. So I think you basically heard the majority of the school building committee and what we can anticipate in April. At the most recent meeting, Mr. Olson from KBA had a chance to give an update to the committee on the flexibility design of our bathroom design with the school building. And so gave the committee an opportunity to ask some questions around the bathroom design. And it showed the utility of how we can assign the bathroom stalls for students. And so we're going to continue to move forward with that work. And then the other piece, Madam Chair, is that we will be coming before this body in the future at the April meeting. It'll be on our agenda to recommend that Ms. Cohen remain on the school building committee as she leaves the school committee. Ms. Cohen has put in countless hours on the building project and brings historical knowledge and capital to the project, going all the way back to its inception when it was just a concept. And so that is going to be discussed at the next meeting as well. And so a recommendation will be coming forward from the school building committee to the school committee in terms of the construction of that committee. That's all I have.
Excellent. Feel free to throw your golden hand up if you have questions around the school building committee or anything school building related. All right, not seeing any. Are there any other comments, or excuse me, share outs, subcommittee share outs?
I'm going to do a quick one for Dear Jay.
Thank you.
So Alita was kind enough to put into the material for tonight the equitable decision-making tool. I think I've mentioned it before, but again, I just wanted to make it easy for everyone to find. It's now right in front of you. So if you've taken a look at it, they've really done a nice job, narrowing it down and putting a lot of helpful information into it. So as you're working through your subcommittees, please use the tool. There's a lot of great questions that will help you reflect on, as you're going through your thoughts and your processes. And there's also, a working page you can use within the tool as well. And then lastly, there's a feedback section. So if you find you want to give any feedback on, how you move through the tool or any suggestions on how to make it better, I know the Dear Jay team is very eager to hear how it is being used and if it is useful. So just a final plug for that.
Thanks, Robin, for that. I am looking at the tool and it is very visually appealing, but it's also chock full of great ways to think about our work and make sure that we are taking into consideration all stakeholders and trying to eliminate as much bias as we can. So I appreciate your work. I appreciate Deirdre bringing this to us. So for all the subcommittee chairs, this is something that you should be entertaining on all of your agendas to make sure that the discussion is being informed by the tool. Jackie.
Policy is scheduled to meet on Thursday regarding some, of course. So we're actually meeting on Thursday, and it's a really timely report out from Robin because we are going to actually be using the equitable decision-making tool as part of our review of some proposed policies for the district based on updates from NRSC, as well as looking at our use of restraint and seclusion in the Nashoba Regional School District. So thank you to Deirdre for that. I'm sorry for my technical issues.
No, that's great. It all came through. So policy, I know, does have some things coming up on the planning calendar. So thanks for that, Jackie. Any other subcommittees have anything they'd like to share out? I will just make a quick note about negotiations subcommittee, that the work is ongoing as we continue to negotiate in executive session with our partners in the NREA. And so, there can be no announcements at this time, but I just wanted to let you all know that that's ongoing. We meet every Monday. All right, guys, I'm thinking that we're going to move now to items for the next agenda. And I'm going to share my screen to try to bring up the planning calendar for you all. Can you all see the planning calendar? Can you see it, Kirk?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
I can see it.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yes.
So as you guys can see, today is March 25th. So we just got through that. Here is the planning calendar for the 8th. Do you think that the school lunch update is going to be something that happens, Kirk?
As we're looking here, we are going to have a really meaty meeting next time. There are some things that we can pass down if necessary. So that may not be coming until the 29th.
Okay. I don't know. Like all the meetings from here on out are pretty meaty.
Yeah.
Just for the committee's review, we only have 4 meetings left. And I made sure that the regional agreement was rewritten so that anybody who rolls off the committee, they stay on the committee until the organizational meeting. And so all of us have 4 meetings left. Some of us will be continuing on at the June organizational meeting, but that will be a whole new agenda. So these next 4 meetings is all the time we have. We've also asked you guys to attend the April 16th school building committee meeting as well. Scott.
So something occurred to me earlier this week. Some of our committee members who are currently on the negotiating committee, their term is expiring. If we don't complete the contract before their term expires, do we have a plan in place for how to continue the membership of that committee?
Did you say negotiation?
Yes.
None of us are up for re-election.
Okay.
Matt, Robin, just Jackie.
Yep.
I'm sorry. So the hope is, Scott, my God, that we are done by May 30th. That is really the hope.
Okay.
If not, then we'll need a new representative from Lancaster to be appointed if we go into June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that was on the radar screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not, because we do need to have that contract in place come July 1. So our hope is that we can get it done. And we're moving in a really great direction. So Our efficiency is increasing. Anything to report or share out or ask for on this planning calendar as we look beyond today? And I can't see your hands, so just feel free to yell out if you have something to add. Robin and Sharon, maybe are personnel's things all correct on here? I have the vote for the superintendent evaluation. Kirk, I think, presents on the 13th. Is that right, Kirk? Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks right.
And your training is over here somewhere?
On the 29th. Yep.
Okay.
New business.
Thank you. All right. If there's nothing else to add, it's never too late. You guys can reach out to me and make requests whenever you have the urge. But otherwise, I am going to move to adjourn.
Second.
Do I have a second? Thanks, Scott. Let's take a vote. Scott?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Shondor?
Yes.
Jillian?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Lindsay?
Yes.
And Jackie? And
Yes.
And Amy?
Yes.
All right, guys, we did it. I hope you have a good night.